On the Friday of middle school presentations, we were asked to come to the doctor's office as a follow-up, and were told that she had leukemia. Within about 6 hours, she was hospitalized, her first hospitalization of many over the course of the next 2 years.
I mean, my surgeon said that particular surgery, make sure your affairs are in order and everything is ready, because we don't know how this one's going to go. You are told that. He said, buy a plot, plan your funeral, and get everything in order. And when you hear that, yeah, it's pretty scary. And to go to a surgery like that, knowing I don't have the units I was asked to bring with me, is an even scarier thought, because that blood was so crucial to my survival. And the community really, in this small St. Anne's community, when you think of the entire world and where we are, this little group of people saved my life for that surgery. They really did. They literally did.
Her second transplant was down at the University of Texas at the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Well, we were down there during the winter, and they had a freak winter storm come through there where the roads got icy and the temperature dropped below freezing. The protocol for a leukemia patient is usually that if their platelet count drops below, somewhere between 10, 20, they need a transfusion of platelets. A normal count for somebody like me is in the 300s. So we're talking about people whose platelet counts drop into the single digits. On the day of this particular storm, her platelet count dropped below her protocol, but they told us that there were no platelets to be given. Platelets down in Houston come in on airplanes. They buy platelets from other jurisdictions and bring them in addition to what they're able to raise. They're not able to do enough blood drives or have enough donors to keep all the patients at these hospitals in the necessary stock. So here it is, we're in the hospital. Her platelet count is around 5 or 6, which means if she were to have an accident and start bleeding, she may not be able to stop bleeding and could die right then and there. We look at her blood reports, and they say, no, you can't have any because there aren't any. It's a terrible feeling, and there's something every one of us can do about that, and that's just simply give blood.
My surgeon called me and said that they were very low with their supply of O-negative blood, and he was very concerned. And he asked me to reach out to my brother and my cousins that could still give. And I did, but it just wasn't enough. He asked that I bring 20 units with me, which is quite a lot of blood. And it's quite a lot to ask of the bank at one time. I was with a friend and her sister, and her sister said, well, we can get this done. We definitely can get this done. We're going to reach out to the school community at St. Anne's Belfield. And she was determined to get this done. I had called Virginia Blood Services one day to give them further details about our needs, and they asked me how many people we were looking at that were going to come and possibly donate. And I told her about 800 when we factored in the students that were over 16 and the parents that had been notified and faculty. And she said, Lucy, there's just no way. She said to get that many units from that size of a group is statistically impossible based on your needs, because you have so many specifications.
It's great to be here at the blood drive. Encouraged a lot of our boarding students at St. Anne's to come and donate blood. It's a wonderful thing to be able to do, especially at this time of year, and it's a little bit outside the comfort zone of a lot of the boarders here. And that's a point of the program, is to get kids outside their comfort zone, and this certainly does that. So we've got a number of boarding students coming today too. to donate blood?
Well, it's a great STAB event, and giving blood is just an opportunity to be selfless and donate something that obviously people need, that can save a life. It's also, I think it's a great school event. It's good for the community to be here and be part of something that's bigger than themselves. I did it at our previous school, did it here. It's great to see you guys involved in this as well, and all the STAB students for that reason, just to be part of something that will mean a great deal to somebody else.
The meaning of the blood drive to me is many faceted. First of all, I like the idea of honoring my late wife. That's something that's important to me and my family. She was a big part of the St. Anne's Belfield community. It's wonderful to think that in a strange way she's still giving to this community by associating her name to something that is this important.
People like me that require 41 surgeries and require a minimum of several units for each surgery. That's a minimum in my situation. Without those donors, I don't know where I'd be. I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be a mom anymore. And it would have been, very difficult for my 3 children. I mean, it's just not supposed to happen.
It doesn't really have anything to do with the needle. It has to do with helping people. And I guarantee you, if it was your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister who needed blood, you'd get over your fear of needles really, really quickly. The point I'm going to make is, it just might be your brother, your sister, your wife, your brother, your mother, whomever, your classmate. I never thought it would be my wife, but it was. How the blood drives have evolved since the very first one. I think the biggest change, the biggest difference between the first one and the ones we're doing now is that they're really community driven. The first blood drive was a great act of kindness where a group of people were asked to give blood. At this point, we're reaching out into the entire community. Our goals have gotten so much bigger, not just in how many units we're trying to raise, but what we're trying to do. We're trying to educate people, make people aware of the need for blood. They're bigger, they're more elaborate, but the fundamentals haven't changed one bit, which is, let's make sure that the blood supply is full, not for Becky, but for the next patient.